Hi again, my name is Brian Venton and welcome to another session of Words of Hope. Today's theme is about living in a place of contentment, not just living with contentment as if it was some kind of peripheral add-on into our lives, but rather living in a space of contentment as a way of life in spite of our surrounding circumstances. A place where the striving, the effort, the scheming and the frustrations of life no longer have the same control and dominance over our lives. Our jumping off point today is from the experience of St. Paul described in Phillipians 4:11-13. This is what he says. I have learned in whatever situation I am to be content. I know how to be brought low and I know how to abound. In any and every circumstance I have learnt the secret of facing plenty, including hunger, abundance and need. And he says this, I can do all things through him who strengthens me. Australia has been known for a long time as the lucky country. Indeed, we are a blessed nation and in many respects the envy of the nations and peoples of the world. So much of our life, though, is about the pursuit of pleasure and possessions. We are often consumed with things. We can easily be annoyed with inconvenience and invariably driven by our own self-ambition. I don't know about you, but often our prosperity and our affluence can mask the deep sadness and pain that's in our lives. However, something has happened over the past couple of years that has challenged the very fabric of our values and priorities. We've been forced, rightly or wrongly, to go through a serious reevaluation of our life choices and our circumstance. Coupled with that, and sadly, many of the so-called foundations of our society are being ripped out from under our feet. The institutional pillars that we once relied on are seriously failing us. Those whom we once trusted to guide us are found wanting, and it is easy to feel betrayed, delusioned, and perhaps even a little angry. Mainstream media seems hopelessly compromised. We even question the objectivity of the medical fraternity, and so it goes on and on and on. But really, what really hurts is when injustice is mandated. What do we do when our rights and our freedoms are stripped from us and we are reduced to little more than being compliant and an obedient people? What then? As one globalist said, we're expected to own nothing and be happy. Who do we turn to? What should our response be? Well, St. Paul discovered that our contentment didn't rest on external circumstances, but on the constancy of knowing God. In 1 Timothy 6:6 he said, godliness with contentment is great gain. They're two, if you like, two sides of the one coin. You may not realise, but the context of this reference to godliness and contentment is to do with the pursuit of wealth as an end in itself. He said in verse 10, the love of money is a root of all kinds of evil. Now that doesn't mean to say that money is evil, quite the contrary, but the love of it can be. Let me explain it this way, I'll put it into other words. I suggest that the misguided pursuit of material things can lead us to a corrupted worldview and a reality that doesn't satisfy the deepest longing of the human heart. The ability to live not with, but in a place of contentment, irrespective of our circumstance, is not something that you and I do very well. But notice what Paul says. In spite of anything life threw at him, he could say this, I can do all things through Christ, or God, who strengthens me. I suggest that it is being able to live in that place of contentment with Christ at our side that will enable us to do a number of things. It will enable us to rescript our values, give us hope when we're in despair, provide new pathways out of our troubles, and establish new frames of reference in the midst of our brokenness. I hope this makes sense to you, but note, this doesn't take away or remove all that we have to deal with on a daily basis as it now stands. But it does provide us a new space to help us navigate through our wilderness and our despondency. Now, if for any reason you want to chat or comment, then feel free to contact me on Messenger or even give me a call. But until our next chat, perhaps you could ask God to show you how to begin living in that place of contentment that might be relevant in your circumstance. What might that mean for you? Perhaps you could chat about it around the evening meal table with your family together. Thanks for watching this session of Words of Hope, and blessings to you until we talk again next week. Thanks for watching.